Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and here we are again with part 5 of our Making a Lap book. So this is what we're going to make today. This little policy envelope, on the cover or the flap of it, there's a little pocket with an ATC card tucked in. And this is just out of hanging file folder. I thought that green went with this kit nicely. And I punched out 1-inch circles out of the green file folder also. And on our brown cording, I've got another of the sprockets or gears. This one's got a little heart cut out. And here I've got one of the round circles that's covering up the brad and hardware. And it has a pocket here. Quite deep and roomy. And here is a huge pocket. It is accordioned. So there's a lot of room in this pocket. So that's what we're going to make today. So we'll put this one aside and pull out the other one. And I have some stuff prepped for it. Our first step is to cut the base on our page. And to do that, we measure here. It is 7 1/4. I cut this at 7 inches because of the construction. We need that other 1/8 of an inch with our flap. And the height is 10 1/4. So this is cut at 10 1/8. And this is going to be our base. And that fits right in. And again, it's the craft cardstock. So I'm going to pull this out. And we can put our book aside for right now. Because everything we're going to do has to do with the base. And this is going to be our accordion pocket, and I have it cut at 6 1/4 by 11. So I need our scoreboard. And it's going to be accordion folded, but my paper is only 8 1/2 by 11, so I'll show you how we're going to piece the accordions. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and at 10 1/2. And then I have my accordions all cut out. They're 6 1/4 tall, so they're going to match. And they're 2 1/4 wide. And I have two, one for the right and one for the left. And what we're going to do first is score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, and 2. Same thing. 1 1/2. No, I'm sorry. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, and 2. So we can put the scoreboard away for right now. We're going to need it again soon, but not yet. We're going to go ahead and fold this. This is our big pocket. And just burnishing my folds. And here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fold there, skip one and fold again, like that. And now I want to bring my 2 folds to each other. And this little tiny 1/4 inch one, bring that forward. So here's our little accordion. Now we're going to do that one more time. The outside one, fold in. We're going to skip one and fold this one. And now we're going to fold it so that our 2 folds match up. I find that doing it this way, I get a much neater looking accordion. And I like that rather than it all kittywampus, because that's what's going to show in my pocket. Now this 1/4 inch upwards. Let's fold it up. And burnish. Okay, so now I'm going to get the art glitter glue, and we're going to put glue on the inside of this 1/4 inch, and it's going to rest right in there and hook underneath that flap from the pocket. I just refilled my bottle so the glue comes out so quickly. Okay, go ahead and get that nested right in the fold. Lining up my top and my bottom. And press it down. It looks like I got off just a little tiny bit, but that will be okay. I have the cure for it right here. Now we're going to do the same thing on this one. Put glue on the inside in the little valley of the 1/4 inch. And we're going to set that right in on that fold. Oops, I wiggled. Wiggling isn't good. I thought I was going to be so smart as to putting it up on end so that it would mesh, but it wiggled. I didn't have a very good hold on it. And I need the edge of that little flap to go right into the valley. Okay. And what I've done was I've already chosen the page that I want to use for my pocket. And so we need to go ahead and cut thumb notches. But first, what I want to do is ink this. Oh my goodness. Had such a busy day. I'm out of sorts. I apologize. I got to get my head in the game here. Okay, just re-ink that a little bit. And I want to measure and find my center. It's 10 inches, so that's going to be an easy find. It'll be at 5. So I'm just going to make a little mark right there at the 5. And I'm going to want my thumb notches to line up, and so I want to put this paper, I don't know, let me see if I can make it work. I'm rambling now. Okay, I apologize. Okay, this piece of paper is 2 3/8 inches by 9 7/8 inches. This piece right here is going to be this pocket in the front. Let's go ahead and get that scored so you have a better visual of what I'm getting all mixed up about. And maybe I'll get a better visual, so I'll stay clearer. So I'm scoring at 1/2 inch and at 10 1/2. This piece is 11 at the top. Now I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Put that away. And what I want to do is miter my corner where the score marks meet. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And fold it again. So I've got all of my 3 score marks, my flaps, all coming towards the inside. Now this is going to go on here. That's where I'm getting my pockets from. So, and here is where I marked my 5 inches. I'm double checking to make sure I got the prettiest end as far as my meeting up goes. And I want to mark this one at 5 inches also. I think I was just jumping ahead. Okay, there we go. And this piece is going to be the front of this. So I have cut this an 1/8 inch shorter. So it measures 4 7/8 by 9 7/8. So I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this. I hope you're having fun making your lap books. Okay, so now I am going to punch some circles, partial circles, and I'm going to use a 2-inch hole punch. So I need things to line up. And then, see, this one goes inside there. So I'm going to use some paper clips to hold it for me. And I am centering it at an 1/8 inch or a 1/16 of an inch away from both sides, but I'm bringing it all the way to the top. And I'm going to clip it to help me hold it. And do you see what I just did? I covered up my little mark. We'll make a new one. So now I'm just going to bring in my 2-inch punch and I'm centering my little mark. And now I can take the paper clips off. And when I bring this down, I have it matted and it's the right matting size on my scoop here too. That's what I was trying to achieve. So now I need to do it on this pocket also. And again, all the way to the top and centering it from side to side and paper clipping. And find my 5 inches. But because there's not going to be a lot of room between these two, I want to use my original as a guide also. More paper clips. I haven't curled the ends on these yet. I will be though. There we go, that's better. I don't need that little mark there. Now I'm going to flip it this way and I can see my guide. So now it'll line up. I'm just matching the first punch with the second. Now I can remove all my clips. I've decided to make 2 more lap books besides these 2, so I'm having fun playing with that. And they're going to be very, very, very similar, but they are not ready for their spotlight yet. I'll give you a hint though. One of them is blue and brown. So this is going to go here. We're going to put our pretty papers on later. Right now, we need to focus on getting this done. And so I don't need this anymore. Let's get it out of the way. And I want to gather up my accordions and clip them. Let's go ahead and ink this too. Why not, right? Okay, what I want to do is open up this bottom flap. I'm going to give this a little bit of a angle cut. This is the flat side, and I want to angle my little accordions down here so I don't have so much width. Both sides. I'm not doing a whole lot, just a little, but I'm getting rid of some of that bulk at the bottom. And you'll see why it's going to be important in just a moment. Because we're going to put this on top. And, or you know what, I need the base in here too. Let's glue this onto our base and then we'll do the flap. That might be better. Leave my paper clips. No, they're going to be in the way because I'm going to put glue on here. When I made my prototype, it went together so smoothly, and now I'm getting the steps all mixed up. So now what we're going to do is, I'm just pinching that, and I have to match it on the bottom, but I kind of want to center it because remember it's a 1/16 of an inch margin. And all the way to the bottom, because my base is 10 1/8 and my pocket is 10. And before it gets stuck, I want to get all my manipulation done. And do I have it lined up? Pretty much. A little bit over. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, now I want a couple of those paper clips back. And now I'm going to put this, and I want that flap over the edge of both of them. This is the bottom of my pocket. And I inked that one, but I didn't ink this one. So I'm just going to get in there quick before I forget again. Okay, so I need some glue on my flap. And we're not worrying about the sides until later. We just want both of our layers in here. Against that little hinge. And I'm going to try to pinch it over and line up my front pocket. And now okay, yes. And by angling some of that accordion out of there, I was able to reduce some of the bulk. I'm double checking to make sure I don't have any glue seepage so that my pocket doesn't open all the way. Okay, now what we're going to do is glue on here this little flap and this one. Press down my accordions, bring my flap over, line up my edges, all right. Let's put the top into the glue for a little bit. And what we're going to do now is work on the flap. And the flap is 10 inches because that's what my pocket is. And it is 4 1/4. So now we need that scoreboard again. And I just rounded 1/2 inch corner rounder on one side, left the other one straight. The straight one into the corner, and I'm going to score it 1/2 inch. 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, 1 inch, 1 1/8, and 1 1/4. So I have 3/4 of an inch of all scores at every 1/8 inch. That's going to give me my rounded top. No more scoreboard. Just a little bit of color, not a whole lot. And now we need to fold on all those score marks. And each one of them, I'm not burnishing them. I just want to give them a crease so that they'll help roll. When I get to the very last one, the 1/2 inch, that one I need to burnish. It's going to be coming from the back side. And we're going to glue that one down. So here I've got my last one. And I'm going to fold it over on this side and burnish it down. So this is the part we're going to glue. And here's my flat. So it's going to come over just like that. So I'll open it up. Let's go ahead and glue. And I'm just trying to give it a little more definition at my 1/2 inch score mark and bring it in there. And I just gently hit the two sides because I want to see if I have a match. I don't want to press it all down if I don't match. And I'm good. Whoops. Oh, I'm falling apart. Okay. Let's see if I can get that centered again. Making sure I match. Okay. Press it down before I lose it again. So it is wrapping from the back of the base going forward. So this is the base that's going to go against our book. So we just built everything on top of that. So now we need our circles. So I'm going to use a 1-inch punch, and these are our pretty papers. And I have this green hanging file folder. Let's see if, yeah, let's go ahead and use this light side. So I need to punch 4 holes. And I say 4 because it's too thin. I want to double them up. Trying to keep that glare down. And we're going to use the light side, so let's apply the glue on the dark half. And line her up and pinch. Seems like everything is in doubles, isn't it? We get to do it again. making sure it matches. I want to double check, make sure I like the color. Yes, that will work. Okay, now I'm going to use my pokey tool. Well, let's get rid of the glue. And I'm going to try to eyeball the center. I think so. It's close. So I'm going to stack them up and grab my crocodile, and I'm lining up that little poke in the center of the hole of the 1/8 inch. Okay, and we need some brads. I dumped these things twice today already. I have to find my a little jar. And I need 2. Let's put the cover on right away. Takes a while, but I learn. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the brad. And then I have a couple of spent eyelets already punched there. And that's going to be my spacer. So I got that ready to go. And one more. And let's see if yep, I have another one. Okay, so they're ready to go. And what I want to do is I'm going to apply it to this. So I need to find out where. So I'm lining it up where I want it to go. So I get that craft all the way around. Nice mat. I'm going to bring my flap over and, oops, I grabbed. That will be about it. Okay. So now I just need to find my center though. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it. So I'm just making a little pin prick again. Move that aside. I'm going to grab some masking tape. Find my little hole and place that over the top. And now I can punch through and take my brad and put it through the hole. Spread the legs. Get the score tape out. And I'm burnishing it down to make sure that it's secure. And now I want to grab my circle punch again. Oh, I don't need that big one. Let's use, well, why not, right? Get a piece of cardstock. And it's not 2 inches wide, but that's okay. We're going with it. And just apply glue. And I want the curve near the top. And we're going to burnish that down again. Now we can glue it to our base, and then we can put our button on the top. So let's go ahead and get some 3-in-1 glue. Okay. And let's place it on here. I'm going to put this there to hold that down. And centering my piece on there, making sure my mat is as even as I can make it visually. And then we're going to go ahead and smear that glue. Okay. Now this piece, get that a little bit inked in that thumb notch there. And it is going to go right in here, and it's going to be covering our little tabs here and here, so they won't be seen. See if I can grab it without getting completely filled with glue. I'm going to bring it over to the side this way so that I can see it better. Open up my pocket and slide her in. And now I want to try to get it centered with a little bit of that craft showing all the way around it and lining up my edges here so that my matting all matches. And press it down. I have a little corner coming up here that didn't get glue, so I'm just going to add a little tiny little bit and press that down. Bring this down, and my little button I had all ready to go all fell apart on me. So we're and figure out where it goes. I think that's pretty good. It's not too close to the edge, and we got it in the center, so now I want to see if I can get in there and make my little mark. I did it again. One of those days. And that's going to go in there. And I don't have any reinforcement on this, so let's go ahead and put a little tiny bit. Pull that back out. Get my masking tape. Poke my new hole. And pop it through. Making sure I line up. Pretty good. A little bit of score tape. Now we need to cut ourselves a pretty little circle or label for that. So we'll see what I've got. These are the ones I haven't used yet. Plus I have a whole nother sheet of them. And it's going to go this way, so let's audition them. Let's use Monaco. Get some 3-in-1 glue on it. And it's going to go this way, so I want my Monaco and Cycles and Villa all to be so that I can read it, should I choose to. And then we'll burnish that down. Getting in there underneath. Looking good. Awesome. I just love this that little pocket, right? Huge pocket. And this pocket, nice and roomy. We need a string. Let's grab some more of that pretty brown. And wrap her around. And tie it one more time. And cut off my extra. There it is. And let me see if I have a little sprocket for that one too. Oh, this one's cool. Let's use this one. You can't see what I'm trying to get at, but you will in a second. Maybe. Yes. How about that one? Isn't that interesting? Let's do that one. Unwrap this so I've got some room to tie. Well, I messed up. Let's untie that. And try it again, holding on to both ends this time. And I want my knot as close to my little sprocket as I can. And then I can cut off the extra. And this is a waxed linen cord. Nice. Okay. And let's make our little pocket on here again. Find a little scrap. Let's measure. I have almost 3 inches to play with. So if 3 7/8. Yes, I have to take away an inch because of our flaps. But how tall do we want our pocket to be? Let's go with the 2 3/4. So I need to add a 1/2 inch for my flap on the bottom. So that will be 3 1/4. I need to cut this. So I have this. Scoreboard again. And a 1/2 inch. And 3 3/8 is a 1/2 inch of 3 7/8, so, and 1/2 inch on the bottom after we rotated it. So I have it scored 3 sides. And we're going to miter our corners again. And fold our flaps. Try it on for size. Yes. Okay. And what I want to do is I'm going to use my 1/4 inch rounder and round this corner of the pocket so that it curves with this part of the flap. Get the right corner. There. And I want a little thumb notch here at the top. Just a little one. Eyeball the center a little bit. See, with just that little bit around, it just looks so much nicer on the flap of our pocket. Let's go ahead and glue it in. And I'm checking my miter here. I have a little bit of binding, so I want to give this just a little bit of a nip. That's much better because I don't want that bulk. This is such a heavy cardstock from that file folder. Oh, and then I was just thinking too, let's angle our tops of our pocket just a little bit too. Not much, just a little. Then we can go ahead and place our pocket, not too close to the edge, but I don't want it on these score marks either. A little balancing act there. There, just a little fun extra. You can't have too many pockets. Now let's find ourselves an ATC card to go in here. So let me grab my stack. And I've got them in here. Here we got them. And let's find, well, doesn't that look like perfect for this, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and cut that out. You can use your paper trimmer, or because it's in the center, I'm just going to go ahead and use the scissors. You get 2 pages of these ATC cards in this kit. So that's 16 cards. ink my edges. I want to mount it on some cardstock so it's nice and firm. But I want to test it first to make sure we're good. And we are. Awesome. Okay, so now I need to measure. I need my cardstock. And I've got 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. So let's cut it 2.5 by 3.5. Let's find a piece of cardstock. I have scraps. I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Three 3/8. No, 2.5 by 3.5. And ink it a little bit. Boy, if you could see my desk, oh my goodness. I have got parts and scraps and stuff all over. It's a good thing I have this mat down or I wouldn't have a place to work. And I'm using the 3-in-1 glue again. And let's just center that right in there. Oh, let me ink the back. Not too much, just to give it a little definition, a little bit of color. And we'll put that right in our little pocket. And there we go. Now let's glue it into our book. And I'm putting it on this side of our journal because it won't get interference from this. That's why this is going here. You know what? I think I like it better like this. I may, this is, yeah, I think I want it this way because I have the bulk of my journal here at this end. And if I put this bulk at this end, it will lay better in our lap books. And so what I want to do is a do-over on the flap. And then I'm going to glue it in. The rest is good. It's just that that little flap, that pocket, is now upside down. But the rest is good. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this and put a new one on, and then I will show it to you in our next video when we do our last page. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.